Topless models.
Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome to TidsTalks. We are
episode 2.
Yeah, back for episode 2 of Tid Talk, and we're going to stick on the MMA topic this week, and we're going to cover the recent event of UFC 226, which has just gone, which was
DC.
Yeah, DC got the win. It was absolutely shocking when it did, like from all angles. As in, like, I didn't see the finish coming. I thought it was going to go.
We thought it was an elbow.
Yeah,
If you watch our, we done a live reacts. If you want to go check that out, but as it happened, we thought an elbow landed on Stipe and he had gone down. But then when we watched the replay, realised it was the big right hand
from inside of the clinch. And
it was brilliant as well the way he done it, because he had stated in an interview beforehand that Stipe is susceptible to putting his left down as they break, and that's what he done. And normally DC throws the uppercut, but obviously mixed it up through the over. And that's all she wrote.
But he absorbed as well. It's like his whole training camp was to absorb. And he was built to absorb Stipe's punches, because Stipe laid some on him early on. You know what I mean? It was a
Stipe landed punches on DC and it didn't look like it phased him. Yet jabs were landing on Stipe and it was opening him up
and cutting him up.
Do you know what I mean?
Absolutely cracking card. The card was great, actually. In fact, other than the co-main event, which was a little bit shabby, Derek Lewis versus Ngannou, which we thought was going to, end.
Everyone thought. I'm sure all the U's thought. Literally. We were surprised. We was gonna bet it didn't go out in the first.
No,
do you know what I mean?
It was, 100%.
When that second, well, I don't want to. I'm pretty much guessing, but when was the last time you ever seen a ref had to encourage fighters to fight in a heavyweight fight?
Probably
there's been like fighters, if they're in the clinch, the fight say, "Come on, guys."
Yeah, on the ground.
But literally, they was nowhere near each other, just stood in front of each other, and Herb felt the need to say, What he's doing, fight.
And I haven't seen Tough. I think maybe a Tough series was the last time I've probably seen that. And if you take Tough as semi-professional, it's kind of, it's not. Yeah,
they're not going to be brawling like you would expect. And they're not Francis Ngannou and Derek Lewis.
No, like we said, we expected a barn brawler. We expected a knockout. Could have gone either way. Derek Lewis has the power.
For everyone who had Derek Lewis winning by decision, paydays for you.
Winning by 8 kicks.
Yeah.
If you had that on a bet slip,
didn't even land.
Give us a shout, let us know.
Yeah, put a picture of it up.
But it was a good card in all. I didn't see Mike Perry was amazing. That all.
Mike,
the Felder,
brilliant. Paul Felder done good though.
Yeah, Paul Felder's a fucking
fight
warrior,
in
man.
that division.
Yeah, Paul Felder is an absolute warrior. In every fight he's been in, he's done good and he's fought well. And
the head clashes at the very beginning of the fight.
Yeah.
For that to carry on and go all three. And the cut on Paul that Mike opened up
with the left
hook.
You've seen it as well. You've seen it like physically open up. We were live, and it was
as soon
that
as it
one
landed,
punch.
you've seen
his whole face.
His
whole face swollen a tree. Anthony Pettis grabbed the great win on the card as well over
Chiesa.
Yeah, which was a surprise.
That was I'm not a big Chiesa fan as such, but I do kind of agree with him that he needs to be in a higher weight class. He can't keep trying to cut the 155. He stated he thought he was going to die, didn't he?
Pettis bucks the trend of everyone who's missing weight this year, overweight, winning.
Yeah.
He's the only one who's beat someone who's come in overweight and actually beat them. So shout out to Anthony Pettis
for breaking the
trend, and hopefully starting to climb that hill and getting some results behind and a bit of win.
I do rate Pettis as a fighter.
Yeah,
he is good. He was amazing. He fell off, and now he's slightly trying to.
Hopefully, if he can hit that hill and rise a little bit.
He's just called out Ally Quinta, but apparently, which is a bit controversial, I'm not too sure, that the UFC have stated that Ally Quinta is never fighting again. He's out indefinite. That was what was put in the statement, that Anthony Pettis had asked for Ally Quinta. Their response was, he's indefinitely not fighting for us ever again.
What?
That's what I mean. That's the only thing I've seen on it though, so I'm not too sure the truth behind it or whatnot. But followed that straight up with Nate Diaz, where you at?
Yeah.
Don't be scared, homie.
Well, yeah.
Don't be scared, homie. That'd be a brilliant fight as well.
It'd be a great fight.
And a fight that makes sense. Give Nate someone of that caliber, not a top 5 or McGregor. Do you know what I mean? Give him someone in the top 10. Pettis is what, 8th? Ranked 8th?
Yeah, just about top 10. Yeah, and
I think it might have changed since the Chiesa fight. He might have maybe
climbed a couple.
Yeah, but I think up to 8th.
Yeah, I don't think he's top 5, but he's below. I'm not
100% sure on that, but we'll put the stat up here for if we are wrong. But still, Diaz versus Pettis.
Well, nice segue into the
in.
Diaz. Well, big shout out to Cormier first, but
Yeah,
also
yeah.
a lovely segue into the Diaz's with Kobe. My man, Kobe the King Covington. That needs to be your fighter name.
Dick. I'm not too keen on Kobe.
Calling out
Kobe calling out Nick.
Nick Domestic Violence Diaz. Allegedly.
Exactly. But I rate Nick in that fight. Like, Kobe beats people due to cardio. He doesn't out cardio Nick. If anything, they'd be pretty close on their cardio. He doesn't outdo Nick on the ground when it comes to jiu-jitsu, yet Kobe probably out-wrestles him. But he'll out-wrestle him to the ground where Nick's comfortable with his jiu-jitsu. I can't see Kobe winning that fight. Ring rust plays a big part.
Yeah, I think Kobe's a bigger man. I think at that weight, I think Kobe surprises us all the time when he stands next to people the size of him compared to like even Tyrone Woodley in that photo. When you see the three of them, he's taller.
Yeah.
He's not quite as muscly as Tyrone, but he's a big guy for that weight. And obviously it would be at middleweight, which is welterweight. Welterweight, yeah, it would be a welterweight, which is 170.
Yeah, 170.
So
which is
it's a good weight for Nick Diaz. But I think Kobe being more current and being more active, I just think his wrestling plays a massive part. I don't see too much in the stand-up. I don't think Kobe's stand-up's that weak. And I just think Nate's coming up to the age where he's coming up to the age where Kobe's like that. Kobe's on that.
You know how old Nick is, don't you?
Coming up 30, coming up 40. He's got to be.
He's not as old as you'd think. He's about 35, 36.
Well, what was Nate? Nate was
his age. We put up obviously.
Yeah,
not
Nate.
100%
Nate
sure.
when he fought Conor was in his 30s, early 30s.
Yeah, 32 maybe.
Yeah, Nick's 4 years older, so that would have made him 35 at that
36,
time.
yeah.
So I'm going 2 years from now. Nick's coming up 40, man. I'd guarantee he's coming up 40s. Over the period of being at his best, he's not deserving of Kobe Covington for a start. Kobe Covington could talk himself, and Nick Diaz could talk themselves into those fights, especially if Kobe beats Tyrone.
Kobe shouldn't even be where he's at. Kobe's talked himself into the RDA fight, but I cannot take nothing away from him. He done everything he had to against RDA.
Yeah, he's unbeaten.
He beat RDA.
You know, he's unbeaten. He's
had a loss.
Not in the UFC.
But he's not unbeaten. He's
unbeaten in the UFC.
Yeah,
he's on a tear in the UFC. He's winning. He's on
a tear in the UFC. But the only two people would have really heard of is Damian Maia and RDA.
It's not bad though.
Can you name anyone else?
No, not off the top of my head.
I think he has fought reasonable people, but no one who it's like, whoa, he took them out type thing.
Yeah, that's fair.
Do you know what I mean? I don't agree with. I don't know. I kind of shoot myself in the foot because I say he doesn't deserve it, but I'm a big fan of how Conor talked himself into where he was. But he fought loads of good people as well.
You say that, but I don't put Brimage and stuff as good. And Poirier was fighting at the wrong weight where he was weaker and not as great. So I don't think Conor's roll to the title was definitely not as hard as Joe.
I think a few people he beat are forgotten though. Like I think he was known as Pitbull. Was it Brando?
Brandao
with the big dead.
Yeah,
he was brilliant, man.
Brandao was great.
Time. Like people would say Conor's gonna lose.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I ain't doing Conor. We ain't doing Conor Khabib. We ain't getting into it. We know where we end up.
Well, segue on to Conor and Khabib. What do you think about them in Russia?
Yeah, it was weird how you would have suspected it would have been the other way around, as in Khabib would have got the call to go and meet Putin and get the photo.
I don't think Conor did. Conor requested to meet Putin.
Yeah,
Conor stated he got an invite, but I don't believe Putin invited Conor.
No.
And there's been a picture released that Khabib got a picture taken with Putin that night as well.
It would have made sense.
I don't think it was in the stadium. I think it was outside, but
at dinner.
He still got to see him. Yeah. But yeah, it was shocking.
Yeah,
but I was surprised that Conor even went to Russia. To be fair, I was a bit like. He didn't need to. He's not really a football fan. He said people play football's bitches and that.
In fairness to Russia and in fairness to the World Cup, one thing the World Cup has shown is that the Russian people are actually.
I ain't got a clue, by the way.
Yeah, but it's actually from all of my research and most of my reading, there's been scuffles and there's been little tiny things happening, but there's not been nothing. There's not been no trouble. There's been no stabbings, no shootings, no one highly racially abused. No
I think
gangs of thugs running around the streets.
From what I've seen,
they've done a fantastic fucking job. You know, it was actually an absolutely great World Cup, and it actually put Russia in a great light for when the UFC do go out there and start. You know, shows that the people can take rivalry.
There is a Russia card coming up as well.
Yeah, well, it shows, you know, there's going to be a bit of this States-Russia rivalry, but it seems like the Russians, big shout out to them, they can take it and, you know, take it like the USA would take it. And you imagine that as soon as you diss them, they're just going to push the red button, but it doesn't actually turn out that way. They're actually just normal, you know, and it's taken a World Cup to show that, and it did the same with Ukraine just gone, you know, when they had the Euros. It takes a big event to actually highlight that. You know, 90% of the fucking people that live in countries are actually decent, hard-working people, and they just care about people because they care. So,
obviously, I didn't watch any of it, but
no,
I'll have to take your word.
Yeah, you know, and you always find that you care about people more when you become Eskimo buddies with them. So,
straight on to the next
do you know what I mean? So,
speaking of Eskimo buddies.
Brendon Sharp, Dana White, mate.
Shout out to both of you, because I'm a fan of both of you.
Big fan of both.
But still, I think if we were going by fight rounds, it's a 10-8 to Brendon.
It's definitely.
I'd say it was a 10-9 to Dana with the first little comments they had. Dana saying he's an idiot, telling Israel not to even watch him and all that lot. Yeah. Brendon come back with 10-8. Oh man, owned him, because realistically, I'm a big fan of Dana, and he is the best promoter on the planet. He's brilliant at his job and whatnot.
100%.
But Brendon made some amazing points that if the Fertitas didn't get involved, it would have never have been able to happen. Like, Dana got not gifted, but it almost everything fell in place. Dana was the right man for the job, and they seen potential in him, but they pumped all the money into it. They was the ones.
Well, it wasn't like he invented the UFC. It was somebody else's idea. He said,
That's
you know
it.
what I mean? It's kind of like, you know, it's not like it's your invention. You never invented anything.
Well, we're literally waiting for Dana's reply. He still hasn't replied.
I guess Dana doesn't have to reply.
He kind of does when Brendon says, "Shut your mouth. This is your last chance." If Dana don't reply, he's doing as he's told.
It's not a rap battle.
No, but it's a publicity battle. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, who's winning to the public?
They're both winning.
Don't get me wrong, Dana. If he's he's like a half a billionaire type thing, so he could literally sit back in his palace and not care less what everyone thinks. But when ego comes into it, I genuinely think Dana's gonna write something back.
Yeah, I don't think the UFC utilised Sharp enough. I think he's decent voice for it.
Him and Dana fell out years ago.
Yeah, I know that, but still, it's, you know, the UFC isn't Dana White. You know, it's not all Dana White, and he's a great voice for it. He was great for the Conor fight. He was, you know, he stuck up for MMA in the sport. You know,
do you mean the boxing match?
In the boxing match, yeah, in the Conor Mayweather boxing match, he stuck up for MMA and he was professional about it, and he took the loss like a fucking MMA. You expect your MMA fighters to take their losses, you know what I mean? And the whole boxing world was on top and watching him, and you know what I mean? It was kind of, I think he did a fantastic job, and I think they should utilise him a bit more, the UFC. I don't think they necessarily have to make him in the face of anything.
Yeah.
But not to have him involved. And
I think it's genuinely just dislike. Like same with Ariel. Dana genuinely doesn't like him. Ariel can help the organisation, yet he don't give a shit.
He moved to the ESPN now, and that's massive for him.
Yeah.
That's where the new ESPN is.
Shout out to Ariel and the Bad Guy podcast.
Yeah, Ariel Hawani is the
and
best.
Chael, the gangster Sonnen.
Yeah.
Who, by the way, is got his fight coming up against Fyodor Elemenko.
It's going to be fascinating, isn't it?
Do you know what I mean? Definitely. Ryan Bader's got...
This is Bellator.
Yeah, I'm not too sure who Ryan Bader's got. I've completely forgot.
It's a high Bellator, isn't it? Bellator 213 or something like that?
Yeah, it is up. But yeah, because 200 was a while back, the big event they had, wasn't it? But yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Fingers crossed. I want Chael to win.
What's Bader competing at Bellator? Was it like
heavyweight? It's a heavyweight competition.
Oh, yes, of course it is. Yes, it is.
Heavyweight
tournament. Is it Rampage?
It is Rampage.
Bader versus Rampage?
Bader Rampage. Because no, Rampage lost to Chael. Rampage lost to Chael.
Yes, he did. Of course he did. Yes, of course he did.
Rampage lost to Chael. Bader beat King Mo, and now it's my mind's gone blank. I can't think of that other person is. But obviously we'll put the information up here so you can see.
Right, bad boy Bader. Yeah. No, I'm not a keen Bellator subscriber.
Oh, anything MMA I'm keen on. I think Bellator's like sometimes as the UFC's cards are kind of stacked all the way for the main event. Like all the main events and co-main events and whatnot are brilliant, and the undercards and stuff.
Yeah.
But all the prelims, they don't really do anything for me. Like, they're not that
Yeah,
good. But Bellator, they seem like every fight that would be on Bellator is a bit.
I just feel like I've seen all the Bellator fighters in the UFC.
Well, yeah, they're all ex-UFC fighters, isn't they? Literally, I think the heavyweight competition, everyone but Fyodor, I think, was in the UFC.
Yeah.
Because it was obviously Ryan Bader, Chael Sonnen, Rampage.
It's had a pop, King Mo had a pop, yeah. And the one you can't remember.
I keep going to say Rory McDonald, but they had Rory McDonald as a spare.
Is it not big fat country?
Nelson's out. Nelson lost, I think.
It's not called Big Fat Country, is it? It's called Big Country.
Big fat country. But yeah, so the Bellator heavyweight semi-finals.
Be intriguing. I'm a massive fan of Chael Sonnen, so if Chael Sonnen goes on to win that he's got my backing on that.
Chael the gangster Sonnen.
Yeah, just because as well. Obviously, Chael Sonnen wrestled Jon Jones, who got called out by Dylan Dennis.
Yeah.
Which is odd, wasn't it?
It was
Jon Jones was interested in going back into doing a jiu-jitsu, wasn't it?
Yeah, he said he wanted to do a grappling competition.
Yeah.
And he said, does anyone feel like getting tapped? And Dillion's response was that he'd tap Lesner and Jon Jones in the same night.
Pretty cocksure yourself, isn't it? That is.
He is amazing
damn
at
cocksure
jiu-jitsu.
yourself.
Amazing. Well, who would your money be on in a straight jiu-jitsu match?
Dylan Dennis, I guess.
Do you think?
Yeah, just because.
Maybe against John, but there's an argument as well online about Nate versus Dylan. And my view was straight jiu-jitsu in a gi, straight jiu-jitsu match, I'd say Dylan edges it. Combat jiu-jitsu or MMA, Nate takes it.
I haven't seen enough of Dylan Dennis, and obviously Dylan Dennis is in the championship at the moment in Bellator. So,
yeah.
You know, he's got a long way before I can start putting him in the Nate Diaz category or Nate Diaz category, just because, you know, they're luckily enough still UFC fighters. So you've got to class them.
Luckily enough.
They are luckily, you know.
Luckily for me, because I'm a big fan.
Yeah, there's no way you shouldn't fight for like 2 years, 3 years and still be, you know. Like we were talking about earlier about ratings and how Chad Mendes has been taken out of the rankings. I assume Nick Diaz
because he was a cheat.
Which for me he shouldn't be anyone in the top 15. Not until he's got himself back in the top 15. That's the way sport works.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like Chad Mendes, for example, was just fought jury. Why should Nick Diaz?
Who was ranked
12th. So why should Nick Diaz come back
12th.
and just automatically get someone who's 3rd, 4th, 5th or 6th? He should not in a million years. Those guys have been competing for 3 years. He's not.
I'd say with the situation you're on about,
and
with
Nick
the
Diaz
situation you're on
GSP
about,
score since he has.
I would say that when it comes to Chad, it wasn't really his fault because it was a psoriasis cream. Do you know what I mean? Psoriasis or psoriasis?
Yeah, psoriasis. Yeah.
A cream for his legs that made him test positive, but still, like the argument with John, he's still a cheat and all that jazz. So he loses his rankings, and I fully understand that. Nick got banned for fucking cannabis.
Doesn't matter what you get banned for.
Do you know what I mean? Yeah, but cannabis isn't a performance enhancer.
It doesn't matter. It was a banned substance at the time that he got cracked for. Doesn't matter what.
Yeah, but not that wouldn't warrant him losing his ranking. I would say.
Why? Just
because he didn't have a performance enhancement.
It doesn't. I don't think. I think if you break a rule and you're then banned because you've broken a rule, you know what I mean? Like for example, didn't Jon Jones get popped for cocaine?
No, he never got popped for cocaine.
Oh, wouldn't he?
He got popped for a dick pill, which had estrogen blocker.
Yeah, but the first one was cocaine when he hit the woman. Not when he got charged by police. When he hit the woman and ran off, wasn't he?
Yeah, he did get done for cocaine at one point, but he never got done by cocaine by USADA.
Okay,
They never. I don't think they test for it. To be fair, do you know what I mean? They obviously test for performance enhancers and all that jazz. I don't know if cocaine or anything. Saying that, cannabis come up on their test, so
yeah, I guess
maybe they know anything.
Drugs, recreational. Well, you know, steroids aren't recreational.
But yeah, John's first USADA when he popped was the dick pill, apparently, and the second one with Jon Jones is what with DC is what they're going through at the moment.
Swept under the carpet.
Yeah, it's been claimed to be. Joe Rogan's answer was that it could have been cocaine cut with creatine that was tainted.
Yeah.
That was like a weird one. Another one was a different tainted supplement that he was using. Basically, they're claiming that Jon didn't cheat because the first test said negative, this next test said positive, and then the next test said negative. So they're claiming that the trace amount that was in his system wouldn't have benefited him in any possible way. No. So that's why it's kind of, like you said,
that makes sense. I think
could get swept under the rug, and he could be fighting. His manager has said by the end of July.
I think if you have
fighting by the end of July, so I have a decision.
If you have 3 piss tests or 5 piss tests, and the majority come back okay, and the one comes back odd, I think you take the majority.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Yeah. You know, I mean, you've had the 2 against 1, and there's a minute trace. I think that's fair.
Well, if they could, well, it does mean when everyone's saying, oh, if Jon didn't do those drugs, he wouldn't have beat DC. Those drugs did not make him throw a timed head kick the way he did. No. Do you know what I mean? That was skill, that was tactics, that was game plan. Do you know what I mean?
It wasn't like he was 5th round, he just got his 3rd set of wind from this massive steroid he'd been doing for all the training camp. It wasn't like that. So I'm with you on that. That was Jon Jones.
It was a trace amount. To be honest, with the dick pill, I'm not too sure. I don't know how much was in his system of the drug that he wasn't meant to and all that jazz. They've just put it down to a dick pill, do you know what I mean? But this second one, the information they're putting out stating, like I said, passed, failed, passed, and the failed one was a trace amount. We're talking nothing, so
I
say Jon comes back.
Take it right around back to the start. Obviously, DC called out
Brock
at the end of it. So
Brock
talking about fucking dick pills and steroids and all that shit.
Brock's fucking made of them.
So is this fight gonna happen January, February? Because he's surely got to enter the USADA pool now.
Well, he's got 6 months. He needs 6 months in the USADA pool of passing before they can allow him to fight. If he fails
I got the hint from what I understood from interviews about that with Dana after the event that he was saying that he's already in it. He's been
in the testing pool, but only for weeks, like a week or so.
Alright, so it has started.
He's entered it
6 months from now.
But no, like everyone's saying, like Michael Bisping on the Believe You Me podcast, go check that out. He even stated...
Conceive, believe, achieve.
Shut the fuck up. It said that he doubts that Brock will even be able to pass. He said he's a professional wrestler in WWE. They all do it. It's part of it. So how's he going to pass for 6 weeks?
I think we've heard this before though.
What, you think they're just giving...
Yeah, I think every time Brock comes back, they all say, "Oh, is he going to pass? He's not really."
No, I mean, do you think anything fishy is going? Do you think?
Oh, 100%, yeah. 100%.
What, you think they know he's on drugs, but they're letting him go through, a bit like a Mark Hunt?
And no, there's no way a guy over 40 should be built like that.
Yeah.
He hasn't got the natural testosterone to keep your body like that.
Yeah.
You don't have to 40. We're, you know, when you start to get older, out your 20s into your late 30s, you start to lose all that shit. And so, you know, that's not me saying that because I'm a dick. That is fucking genetics. That's biology. That's shit you can't fucking argue with.
That's borderline facts.
Yeah, just for me, it's just, and he's obviously been on something, whether he's still on something or not. But you won't see this Brock Lesnar. So, for example, if Brock had come in, fight gear on, ready to walk out, you won't see the same size Brock Lesnar.
Don't you think?
Nah, he'd be smaller. He'd be smaller. Now he's got to go 6 months without the steroids.
6 weeks.
No, because he'll be tested for the next 6 months.
Oh, 6 months, in the pool.
Yeah, in the pool. So he's got to go now 6 months without a steroid. So you will see a deflated Brock Lesnar compared to if we went back to, say, WrestleMania this year.
Look at when he fought Mark Hunt, though. He looked deflated, but he looked shredded. He looks smaller, but just
Isn't it the thing with muscle where if you keep on repeating, you're going to keep the muscle, you maintain it, it's easier to maintain than it is to grow, isn't it? Muscle.
Yeah,
so all he's got to really do is maintain so much. So if he loses, say, 5 centimetres, we're not really going to notice it as a view in public. But when you put him up against those massively, WWE photos, say, he's just not going to be the same size Brock Lesnar. He can't be. Because although WWE do have, they have a wellness policy, we discussed this before when we were talking about CM Punk, it's not as intense as a professional sports wellness policy. It's a wellness policy. It's not it's not a drug testing facility. So who do you think wins the fight anyway? So let's say it all goes from now.
Brock DC.
Yeah, it goes all the way now. Everything fine.
I honestly think that it's hard because I'll tell you what I think and then I'll tell you what I want. Is that fair? Mm-hmm. I genuinely think DC would take it. I think DC would beat him.
Yeah.
I don't think he gets out wrestled by Brock. He beats him on the feet. He beats him.
Out cardio Brock, I think.
But I want Brock to win, so Jon Jones can fight Brock for the heavyweight title at heavyweight for his return fight.
Don't you think a nicer story? Is DC to win?
He's beat him twice.
DC to beat Jon on the way out, last one.
No, I don't want him ever to be able to beat Jon.
Why?
Because Jon Jones is the best. He's the GOAT. He ain't gonna lose. He's never lost, and he's never gonna.
Apart from Khabib, I agree with you. But
oh, thank you, Kevin. You fucking idiot.
What do you think Khabib beats Jon Jones?
every day, even now.
Jon would kick him straight in the face as soon as he come near him. Khabib won't get nowhere near him.
Khabib would catch a kick.
Oh.
Down on the floor, and Jon Jones would
Catch
never.
the kick.
You would never see Jon Jones get up again.
If Khabib took Jon, I think that Jon would. If Jon and Khabib fought, Jon could lay down and say, "Come on then." Khabib jump on top, start his ground and pound, and Jon fuck off, boom, and get up.
Ooh, you're hard showing off.
Nah,
Guaranteed.
No way.
You see how easy Jon got up from DC?
Nah, Jon's be struggling against the cage.
Did you see? You're saying this just to wind me up. I know
not.
what you're like. You're doing it. I can guarantee you now, the way Jon got up from DC, which was a 205 when he weighed in, and he was overweight at 206.5.
Yeah.
So he fought at probably maybe 220 after rehydrating. Jon just stood up
Who do you-
and took
right,
him down.
right.
And you think Khabib at 155?
Who do you think just trained DC to beat Stipe? Khabib Nurmagomedov.
Cain Velasquez.
No.
Khabib wasn't even there. Khabib's in Russia, you lunatic.
Mate, it was definitely Khabib.
See?
Khabib was
At
on
AK
FaceTime. He was on
AKA
FaceTime in DC.
Yeah, FaceTime where you give a bit of
No,
advice.
this is how you do it. You get in the
Right.
cage with him, and on the way out,
Leave a comment. Jon Jones versus Khabib. Who wins? Even if Jon magically went down to 55 or Khabib magically
Khabib
went
goes-
up to
Khabib
205,
goes up to 205.
Jon smokes him.
nah. If you add
Smoked.
Khabib's strength, make him bigger, make him stronger again, you won't be able to get out.
Smoked.
No.
Like I said, how easy Jon got up from DC. DC's a better wrestler than Khabib. Arguably, it's hard to say due to the
Nah,
weight.
better wrestler.
But Jon smokes him.
Nah, Khabib's better on the feet.
Jon smokes every human on this planet. Every male and female on this planet.
Khabib-
Jon smokes every human on this planet. Every male and female on this planet.
Khabib's better on the feet. Like,
He's doing it to irritate me. I know it.
right, on that irritating note.
I have to wrap this up before
Yeah.
something gets fucking broke.
Yeah, we don't want to break that.
Leave a
over.
comment. All jokes aside, I do want to hear you guys' view. This guy, Jon Jones versus Khabib. Who wins?
And who is your pound for pound fighter on that note? So
Yeah.
what does the pound for pound list mean to you? Who is your best pound for pound fighter? Should it be men and women separated?
Do you
Whatever.
agree?
What is your opinion on the pound for pound?
Do you agree with the current pound for pound list as it stands?
Yep.
DC jumping everyone, becoming number one.
Yeah, and give us all your opinions, all your conversations, all your topics on all things MMA. We will reply and
Get back to us if we can.
so much love from me.
Subscribe, comment.
All of it. Big shout out to Khabib.
Big shout out to Jon.
Peace.
Topless models.